The Miami Dolphins did just enough to keep their head coach from getting fired against the Bills this past Thursday. We're going to talk about it here on Outside the Box. I don't think it mutes me when I play that intro. So if you're talking like me, they're gonna hear you. Anyway, how are we doing, Finn's family? A little bit of a late recap of the Thursday night game. Daniel's here. My brother Jules, the ref killer. This is Outside the Pod, a Miami Dolphins podcast. Thank you for being here. We're gonna talk about the past game on Thursday night against the Bills in Buffalo. Weather was nice. The game was not so nice. At least the final score was not so nice. 31-21. The Miami Dolphins fall to the Buffalo Bills. To their, right now, I can't disagree, to their daddy, Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean, the Bills are looking like a contender like they have been for the last couple of seasons. This year is not any different. And yeah, so the Dolphins came out looking, obviously 0-2, as we all know, and looking to kind of turn their season around, or at least not get their staff fired. I think at the bare minimum, right? I think I had said before, either in one of the episodes or on X or on other social media, I might have said something to the fact that, hey, they need to win, or they need to at least compete so that Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel don't see their way out. And I think, like our thumbnail says, they did just enough to keep Ross from contemplating. I wouldn't say he was going to pull the trigger, to be honest with you. I don't think Ross has it in him to get rid of him right after the Buffalo game, and then give Anthony Weaver a whole set of 11 days or 10 days or whatever it is till we get to to get back to Miami versus the Jets. I don't think he has it in him, but he definitely would have been contemplating that fact of firing those two guys if they got a butt whooping by the Buffalo Bills, which, like I said, they did not. The Dolphins came and they fought. They played 100 times, in my opinion, better than they have the last two games, and against a way better team than the last two teams they faced. Still not, though. Don't get it twisted. Still not performing at the level that they should be. And I'm not saying that they should be beating the Bills, every chance they get or every time they see them. But they did have some boneheaded plays. They did make a bunch of mistakes. Growing pains, of course. A lot of them are from rookies, but I don't look at the rookies. I'm like, the rookies, whatever. You know what I mean? When Jonas Savaianaya freaking runs too far and there's a freaking ineligible man downfield, I'm not too worried about that. It is what it is. He's a rookie. He's going to take a few too many steps up front, and it is what it is. I'm not worried about that. But there was a bunch of bonehead plays, and we're going to talk about it. Tua, 22 for 34, 146 yards, touchdown, and an INT interception right at the end. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Achane, 12 for 62, but had a lot of yards catching. All right, he had a lot of screen plays where he had like some chunk yardage. And then Hill which was the receiving leader, was about 49 yards through the air on 5 catches. So less than 10 yards per attempt. A few good catches from Waddle. Like I said, Achan had a few, of course, and then Tua's biggest comfort blanket, his blankie, is Malik Washington, and he had a few as well. So not to be um, forgotten for those guys. Like I said, they came out fighting, but fell short towards the end. But let's talk about the first half real quick, where we did have the first drive was a touchdown. It was ugly. How did you feel about that drive?
The first drive, are you putting me on the spot, man? The first drive is a foregone
What you want me to
conclusion.
remind you want me to remind you?
Yeah, remind me what was that?
So D. Eskridge was the kickoff.
Oh
Kickoff
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
first kickoff. D. Eskridge 54 yards. So it was a good return by D. Eskridge, and then basically dink and dunk, and a couple of runs all the way. It took forever. It seemed like it took forever, but it is what it is. I mean, they got it done, right? To
Mm-hmm.
me, a lot of people were saying that it didn't look pretty or whatever. I mean, Tua had 146 yards. It definitely wasn't in that first drive. It was, we were getting 5 yards of play basically, but that's gonna get you down the field. And if you got 4 downs, you're getting down the field. And I believe the first touchdown was a 2-yard rushing touchdown by Ollie Gordon. So, did that remind you a little bit? How'd you feel about that first drive?
Well, I mean, just looked like more of the same, right? Very,
Yeah,
very pedestrian offense, I would say.
right.
Nothing
But they
flashy,
scored though.
nothing down the field. No, I get it, and that's
Yeah,
fine. In this league, if you look at the Bills, yeah, they had a couple of 20 somethings and a 30, maybe like that, but it wasn't like a 70-yard bomb or anything like that. And that's a really good team right there. So dinking and dunking, that's fine. I mean, a couple of those are gonna break, and you're gonna get, you know,
especially
pretty
with
good
Achan.
plays,
Yeah, you're
chunk
absolutely.
plays.
Yeah,
You want little chunk plays, right? But it's still, that first drive looked a little pedestrian, a little out of sync, out of sorts. Uh, but when it ends up in a score, it doesn't matter. That's what you want, and
right.
you're building for something. You're looking for what's working, what's not, right? So the first drive, awesome. Tied, we tied the game at that point, I guess. Or did we go up? No, it
No, we
was
were
tied.
first, and we went. We were 7-0.
Right. So, I mean, it is what it is. But if it ends up in a score, that's the best thing that could happen. It doesn't matter how you do it,
Right,
and and
especially if
and then you
it's
build up for something. It's how you finish a game. I think to me, it's more important,
right, of
right?
course. But I think there was some encouragement, after this first drive, right? Not for us so much. I mean, I know what the Dolphins are, but for the players themselves, going up early, on the Buffalo Bills is good for them. No
Yeah,
matter how they got there, scored their seventh, because you know how most times that we play the Bills, it's like we're down right away.
yeah,
We get the ball first, we punt 3 and out, and then they score 2 touchdowns on us before we even get an answer, right? That's mostly how you're going to see the Dolphins play the Bills. So it was good to see that on our first drive we were able to get down the field and punch the touchdown, especially with a power back like Ollie Gordon. It was good to see. I mean, and throughout this whole game, Ollie Gordon is still proving to be the guy when it comes down to short yardage, if not more, because he has some chunk plays as well. Um, you want to be able to do that. And nothing against HN. He's still RB1, but Ollie Gordon is a good complementary back for this offense right now, and he's showing it. As far as me, I'm not a running backs coach, so as far as blocking and maybe other things, you know, catching out the backfield. I'm not sure if he's doing that all that great, but from a fan's perspective, I like him when he's in there, especially on short yardage, and he's able to push the pile up a couple of yards to get that first down when we need it. To end the first half, though, we had that. Well, first it was Tua's fumble on the snap. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
So we were trying to we're trying to tie the game basically, and Tua had that fumble on the second drive of the game on 3rd and 5. And you could, a lot of people were saying, "Hey, he's getting nervous," and that's when I was kind of like, "Oh, this is over," because the Bills showed some movement by maybe some blitzes, and Tua got a little nervous, and really it wasn't a bad snap. He just dropped it, and obviously that led to having to punt. And that's when the I was going to say the Patriots, but the Bills went ahead 14-7. And then we had that stop, though. This is one of the key plays that I have on here. It's Chubb got a sack on Josh Allen, forcing the field goal. So at that point, I was like, well, at least we're going to be down 17-7. No big deal, right? It's better than 21-7. But their kicker ended up missing the field goal. So that was good luck for us, right? Because we were able to get the ball back and score another touchdown. I think it was Tyreek Hill the second time to tie the game before going into the half. So there was a lot of optimism at that point. Like, hey, we're sticking with them. It was ugly, but it was kind of the performance that I expected with them. Even if the team was performing to the performing in a way that we thought they would in the offseason. Right? We still thought, even if they were coming out guns blazing and they were 2-0 right now, we still knew that Buffalo was going to be a hard win, no matter what. So if this was that team that we thought they were going to be, it would have been kind of the same. I think that would have been the outcome after the half that we would have been happy with. And I was. Maybe something goes our way so we could get this win against the Buffalo Bills. Because at the end of the day, if we're not going to make the playoffs, we're not going to make the Super Bowl, not playoffs, not playoff win, all these goals that we got, we at least got to beat the Bills once, better twice. You know what I mean? So we still would like that to happen. Second half comes around, and what's up? Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. But definitely that second touchdown, that was the Tyreek Hill drive. He got like 3 or 4 catches in that drive alone. That's correct. But then it was Waddle that scored, and that looked pretty good right there. I mean, if you maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but if we would have been 2-0 right now at this point going into Buffalo, you're not necessarily throwing in the towel or all this panic that's going on right now if we would have had that game after 2-0. Because you kind of expect that we're not going to go play that well in Buffalo.
Yeah, maybe we clean up a couple of the things that we messed up, and we still haven't gotten to some of the later stuff that we missed on, that we effed up on.
Yeah.
If we clean a couple of those things up, we could win this game.
Especially the penalties and stuff like that, which we'll get to, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. This team is so confusing, man. And that's the thing. The theme here is we did good enough, but changes I think are still coming. I don't see this being turned around.
No. I don't think. I think when in the intro, I don't think I was saying that it's turned around. It bottomed sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're saying that either. I think we agree.
Yeah.
I think
it's buying.
It's good enough to like settle the masses a little bit and say, okay, yeah, dude, look, you see, but that's
give them a chance.
Give
them another chance. Give them
another chance. Exactly. We've already peaked. You know, this team already peaked in 23. It's not going to get better than that.
Right. I mean, it would take a miracle. I would want to see it. That's what I want, right? I want us to go and, you know, let me not get ahead of myself. Anyway,
halftime.
So after halftime, they score a touchdown on us, basically their first drive. And then we stop them for punts several times from, you know what I mean, for during the second half. The defense was doing well. And let me say this about the defense. It seemed like the last week, while they were getting, or the short week really, that they were getting ready for the Buffalo Bills, I think they finally came to the realization, like, you know what, this whole bend and not break defense 100% of the time is not working, because teams are just going to bend your defense all the way to the fucking touchdown, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to break. But all they did, like Colts, they just bend your defense all the way to the fucking red zone and scored a touchdown. I mean, what are you going to do? You have to find a way to get a blitz in, to get a takeaway, even though they still haven't. But they got a sack and they got some hurries and they got a few good stops of Cook in key areas. Even though he still freaking cut us up. You know what I mean? He's looking really good, bro, behind this offensive line. Or just the way they do it, right? It's not so much the offensive line, but they got 3 tight ends in that damn thing, man. 3
good ones.
All fucking 4 of our tight ends or whatever we got. 3, 4.
2 right
now. Well, one of them is in our whistle bag, right?
Bro, all their tight ends are good. What is up with that? How are they like?
I don't know, bro.
Did they get a bundle somewhere?
Yeah, they found the bundle.
They found a bundle.
There you go. There's Darren Waller's freaking.
There's Darren Waller. Hey, he's gonna play next week.
Supposedly,
he's the savior, man.
And he better freaking ball out, bro, because he better not go in there. And the thing is, they're saying that he's gonna play, and the dude's gonna show up for like 2 snaps. Watch,
and
then get hurt or something.
First hit he gets.
He's like, oh no, you know what? I'm gonna go back to rapping. But what was I?
Third quarter.
Yeah, so the defense, right? I think they finally realized, like I said, that they're bending it all the way to the damn touchdown. So let's start mixing it up. And he was actually getting some of the cornerbacks, some of the safeties in there. I mean, he's been doing it, but a lot more. He was taking more risk. With making the players were taking more risks, like getting to the ball and and probably leaving their spot to try to make a play and a little bit more risk than just, the zone, keep them in front of you, don't let them get the big play, which is, I think, is not working out. But anyway, so that's why I think we turned it around. The defense was a lot better on the second half and had some key stops. I mean, if you look down this play-by-play is, I mean, there's several punts by the Patriots. I mean, but fuck, why do I keep wanting to say Patriots? By the Bills in the second half, and leading to the one in the fourth quarter, the very important one. And we're thinking, this is it, bro. We got him. Dude, actually, it was after that sack, wasn't it? It might have been right after that sack. I can't remember. I think so. Maybe not. Either way, one of the stops that 4th down and like 15 or something like that, 4th and 7. And our guy, one of our captains, Zach Sealer, decided he wanted to fly and bull rush the long snapper. And I guess the long snapper, kind of just fell back. He didn't fight him. So it was probably a tactic. That's probably a tactic, right? Just fall over so that the defender just flies right over you, and then he has too much momentum to maybe pull up. I mean, it would be a dumb tactic, but because they would probably get blocked. But yeah, anyway, bull rushed him. He fell back. Zach Sealer was like, yeah, he didn't put up much of a fight, and my momentum was just taking him in. And yeah, ran into the kicker, roughing the kicker. 15 yards, 1st down, led to the touchdown.
That was a heartbreaker, man. That was a heartbreaker. And I could not believe it, dude. I could not believe that Zach Sealer could do that. Like such a boneheaded play. And
they were trying to make plays, bro.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. Like, and he did a good play. And if he would have just touched the ball, then that wouldn't have been a penalty, right? But didn't get there in time. And I could see him like realize what was happening very late in that play. And then he just took a dive and then kind of like rolled into a ball, so that he could try to maybe. Yeah, man. I don't know.
Maybe
and of course,
get sympathy.
Yeah, no. And then of course the punter's going like, he killed me.
Yeah, of course. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. It kind of like they turn into soccer players at that point, right?
Right.
They turn into as soon as somebody touches them.
Is Neymar punting for the Bills or what? What's going on?
Yeah, they turn it to Neymar. Yeah.
No, it's crazy. No, I get it. He's trying to make a play. It's a split second kind of thing, and one out of a million times that's gonna happen this season, right?
Right.
But it happened.
But it happened this time against the Bills. The Bills. We played the Bills. God damn. Jesus Christ. But yeah, bro, it's like it's 4th down. Let him punt. I know.
Yeah, we're already getting the ball back.
You're getting the ball back, right? I know. I said he's trying to make the play. It was boneheaded, man. It was boneheaded, dude. So how much do you blame? Well, let's keep going. I guess we'll. So they score a touchdown. Yeah. And you fast forward 31-21, and we're coming back. And we got a chance to tie the game. Actually, so it's 21-14. We got a chance to tie the game, and was it? Wait, no, it's whatever. I can't really remember. It was 21.
It was 21-14 them at the end of the 3rd, but that play was in the 4th.
Right.
When we were supposed to stop them and try to tie them at that point, right?
Right. But I mean, coming back when we were still kind of in the game. Obviously, this drive, I can't remember exactly where we were. 21-28 for the interception drive. And they were moving the ball. Okay. I mean, they were looking like, because the first drive was terrible. The drives after that for touchdowns were better. And to Tua's defense on this interception, on this 4th quarter drive to try to tie the game 28-28, the defender looks like he actually got a piece of that ball. when the
Yeah.
lineman with his right arm, it like just nicked it. However, I don't think it would have made much of a difference because the trajectory of which where it was going did not change that much when that guy, kind of got, because even the ball didn't even start to like duck or anything like that that you see when it actually gets reflected. It continued its rotation, but it kind of, you could just see it kind of like boop, kind of bounce off his arm a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think the outcome would have still been the same. I still think that there were probably a better play to be had at that point. And Tua should have made a better decision, especially on 1st and 10. So if it was 4th down and you knew the game was on the line and you had to make a play to get, to move the sticks, then that's different. But it's 1st and 10, plenty of time, so you're not trying to push the ball that hard. Why force that pass, bro? That big old dude was in your way. You didn't try to create a window for yourself. You didn't sidestep him. You didn't kind of roll out a little bit. You didn't step up in the pocket maybe to get open up the window maybe a little better for you to throw. I mean,
I think it's just a play that you've run. That's a route that they've run a million times, dude. Like that is a play. Even in this same game prior to that, he made like 3 throws very similar to that. And I think they just made a good play. They just made a good play. And I don't. Yes, there was the pressure right there. The guy virtually untouched, came through. I believe it was Keon Smith, right, playing, trying to block the guy. And he just, he came right through like there was nobody blocking him. So, and then the other thing though, this isn't the same Tua. I don't think there's something else.
That, bro.
There's something else going on there, and I can't. First of all, yes, it's not the same Tua that came out of college, right? He was much more mobile, much more lean.
It seemed like his arm was stronger. I've seen college highlights where I'm like, I haven't seen that.
Which is weird.
I haven't seen that in the NFL. Not even in the last couple of years. Not even like, I'm not saying with Flores. I get it. He was trash the first. He was trash those years in the beginning. But then like his good year, which was 21 or whatever. 23. I don't even know what year we're in. It still wasn't. It still doesn't look like when he was in college. Like, no. I'm not saying he had a freaking elite arm,
and he was
throwing it. He was still flinging it, bro.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is still the hip, right? Yeah, a lot of your throws are still, the strength comes from your legs when you plant your legs and you let it go, and maybe the hip has something to do with it, maybe not, but this is definitely not the same. Okay, since then, but then from 23 to now, he's also lost another step. Like, how is that possible when this guy's supposed to be at his peak is actually digressing, in his decision making, in his pocket presence, in his poise, in his confidence. He should be like way up there, man. He should be evolving like much better than what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and the thing is that, I mean, maybe he was never, you could tell he was never that athletic to begin with. And I'm thinking that maybe people with
athletes, think in college he was pretty athletic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Because I did see some highlights because everybody keeps posting. I'm like, where's this Tua? Where's this Tua?
Exactly.
Right? And so I do see it a lot. And yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, man. I have no idea where that Tua is at because I haven't seen him. But yeah, what do you think? Which one of those boneheaded plays do you think takes more blame, right? Zach Sealer or Tua's interception?
Ay, ay, ay. Uh,
We like to
I
shit
don't.
on Tua.
To be honest, I don't know if we even win the game, even if we don't make these boneheaded plays.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, dude.
Because that doesn't mean we score on any of these, right? I mean,
Yeah, and you know how hard it is. Like when the Bills get into the mode of like we need to score, they usually score, right?
yeah,
And
dude,
that's the thing that I want to tell a lot of people, a lot of the listeners, is like keep in mind that the Bills are coming off of an easy win with the Jets, looking to have an easy win with Miami, and they were on cruise control. Their game plan was probably like, "Hey, let's dink and dunk to our tight ends and let cook the Dolphins."
yeah. So that, yeah. But back to your question, like which of these boneheaded plays?
Mm-hmm.
For example, the Sealer play, we were down already. It's not like like we made them. Weren't we already down 21-14 at that point?
I mean,
And then
maybe.
the interception led to a field goal, and then we got a touchdown after that, and we're still, down 31-21 at that point still. Uh, the other one that we got to put up there too is Brooks's play, Brooks's penalty. That was a big one too.
The roughing the passer. Yeah, why didn't you let it go? They were blowing like all the whistles.
Like, dude, I could hear it from here, and it wasn't the speakers. It was I could hear it from Buffalo.
That was how long it went, and even after all that, he was like, "Let me throw him down." You idiot.
Everybody's just standing around him like the play's over.
I know
Everybody's
you're
like,
like, oh, yeah, I don't know, bro. Just let him go. You hear the whistle, fucking let it go, bro. Let him go.
and it wasn't like it was a rookie either.
Yeah, it's the captain of the defense.
So the big mistake: Sealer, Tua, Brooks. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying. They were trying. That's all it was. I mean, they're in on emotions, but it's still stupid. I'm not saying I'm not trying to to argue the fact that there's not boneheaded plays.
But I mean,
But they're going on emotion. They're trying to win this game. And but yeah,
isn't
still
everyone
boneheaded.
though? Like the
Yeah,
Bills are
everybody.
also trying to win. The Bills
Yeah.
are also trying to kick our ass. They're trying to score
I
50
don't think they
points
were
on us.
trying to kick our ass, bro. That offense was not getting run like they were trying to kick our ass. They would have turned it up if we would have scored that freaking touchdown there, right? Where Tua was through the interception and we came back to tie him again, then you would have seen the offense that wanted to kick our ass. And it was going to be Josh Allen either throws it downfield or he runs for 40 every time. Because he's still
No,
being pretty, he's still, I mean, he had two 20-yard runs, but
what's the okay? So, but what I'm trying to say is the Bills are also playing football. They're also in this same game, and they're not making mistakes like the ones that we did.
they're coached better.
Well, yeah, that's my point. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like this is not a
I
good
know. There
team.
ain't
They're not
nobody trying
playing
to
well.
argue for the coaches, bro. All I'm saying is the whole premise of this episode really is that he got saved barely for his coaching job, or at least, a very, long thought of getting fired because of the way they played this game. I'm not saying it was a good game, but it wasn't terrible enough to be like, you know what? We need to make a change now, which I thought was going to happen. And only because I think the Patriots kind of had a break on their shit, right? They were like, let's run Cook and keep running the clock down, and the Dolphins won't be able to be on offense. And that was their game plan. And if it wasn't because of that, I think it would have been more of a blowout. But the Dolphins still performed better than the last two games at the end of the day. The offense was way better. The play calling was better. I mean, I still think they need to run the ball more. I still think there was opportunities to get a few more snaps to the running backs, not freaking sweeps or not freaking screens or sweeps, because they keep trying to get freaking Achane killed by a freaking defensive end or linebacker that's freaking blowing up the play in the backfield. But they need to run the ball more. Do the middle. I don't know why he's so scared about that. I feel like McDaniel just wants to get chunk plays, and he doesn't covet 4 or 5 yards on first down.
He wants to make it look sexy.
I don't
instead of efficient.
Right.
So what if one running play doesn't work? You get stopped at the line of scrimmage. That doesn't mean you abandon it.
Dude, he takes that part of his playbook and just trucks it. As soon as they get to the line of scrimmage, it's like no gain. Fuck the run plays.
Yeah.
Or at least down the middle. Definitely down the middle, right? Nope. Chucked it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And oh man. Anyways, go ahead.
Nah, it's all good.
Where are we at? Are we done?
I mean, we're pretty much done with talking about the game per se of how it all ended up, right? 31-21. Because they ended up scoring a field goal to ice it, basically, and we didn't have enough time after that, obviously.
No.
But any offensive performances that you think are noticeable, or at least you like to point out?
I'll just first say that, I mean, in general, the offense performed way better, I thought. Moved the ball pretty well against a really good team on the road. That was really light year better than before, right? Than how we started the season. But I would say Ollie Gordon, the way they got him in earlier this time, and he got a lot more plays in, and along the end zone, the goal line, he's a threat, dude. You could tell right away. He bounces off tackles. He's not afraid of contact, and he can move the pile.
All right.
I love that, and I think we got something going there. We definitely got something going there with Ollie Gordon. I really like the different dynamics that you get with Ollie compared to Achane and all that. So definitely Ollie Gordon. I don't know about anyone else. I like that Tyreek got his first touchdown, I guess. I mean, great. But other than that.
Yeah, Ollie did too.
Yeah.
Of his career, though, so that's even better. I mean, Achane. I mean, he's still performing very well.
Yeah.
I think if he would have had more carries, he would have had. His stats don't jump out, especially when you're looking at a running back. You're always looking for his rushing yardage. But I mean, he had a lot of receiving yards. Altogether, I'm sure they were pretty good. I'm not looking at them right now, but I think Achane is still right now, through the first 3 games of the season, Achane is probably the best offensive player. Tyreek still has obviously the ability, but they haven't been able to get him the ball with space. He's been getting like the ones that he gets short. He missed that one deep. He got his hands on it. At the end of the day, he got his hands on that one.
He should have caught that.
He should have caught it. I wouldn't say that was the best decision to throw there. At that point, I think it was like 3rd and 6. So going deep was unnecessary, especially when he had 2 people on him.
He keeps getting lucky with those.
But yeah, because mostly because the defenders are scared of the big play, right? They don't let them get in front of you, so they keep them behind. They keep them in front of them, and he's able to turn around and make a ball, make a play on the ball. Excuse me. But yeah, he at the end of the day he got his hands on it. So I'm still saying I still think that Tyreek Hill, even though he didn't catch that ball, he still has the capability of being the best player, not only in this offense, but one of the top players in the league. But right now, after 3 games, I'll go with Achane as one of the notable players for the offense. Defense, anybody that you're looking like, you know what, this guy is worth keeping around, even though they haven't been so effective.
I like the play of Jack Jones. He made a few good plays.
He's grabby though, right?
Yeah.
He's like Xavier Howard.
But he made a play in the backfield. He did a couple other plays.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna highlight Ashton Davis, dude. I don't think this guy needs to be starting every Sunday, dude. I like him.
We must be blind, bro. I mean, again, we don't know ball, but every time Melifonwu's in the game versus Ashton Davis, he just looks like he's like not
he's
as
lost. Good. He looks slow. He looks lost. He looks like he quits on plays sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like when he's in the game, I'm like, oh, there goes Melifonwu fucking up again. And when Ashton Davis is in there, I'm not saying that. I'm like, oh, Ashton Davis was on the play on the tackle. Oh, Ashton Davis is there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not understanding why Melifonwu is the freaking
and a couple of like pretty strong hits, right? Like
right.
Davis looks like he's flying in there,
like
hitting someone.
Yeah.
Even if he's not making the tackle, he's hitting someone.
Right. No, yeah. So that's good. Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna go with obviously Nick Chubb is right now performing, probably the best on the defense as far as
our best edge. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the 3 sacks in 3 games. You can't argue that. I'd like to see him in the backfield a little bit more, but I also like Dante Trader Jr. though. That's another one that you see involved, bro.
Yeah.
And that's every game so far. Like, I'm like, oh shit, who was that tackle? Dante Trader Jr. Like hitting him. Like, he's physical, bro, and I like that. And I haven't seen a bonehead play. I'm sure there's some. He's a freaking rookie. I'm sure there's some where he jacked up. I'm sure Coach Weaver will tell me you're retarded. There's a couple things that he's done that are terrible. But as a fan, from the outside looking in, I like Dante Trader Jr. so far.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't think he's getting out on the field as much. I thought I saw him more in the first and second games, but no, I've definitely seen him not. And when I see him, the thing is you're right. It's not like when we see Melifonwu, it's always on a bad play. When I see Melifonwu, it's on a play we gave 20 yards. We gave up 20 yards. There's Melifonwu chasing him down.
Late. Yeah. Not where you were supposed to be, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Agree.
Definitely that. I don't know who else. I think Jalen Phillips had a better game. I don't think he got to the quarterback, but I think he had some good, hurrying Josh Allen. In fact, the one sack that was right up the middle, Allen was trying to avoid Jalen Phillips, and he basically ran into someone else, right? I think it was the Jordan Brooks sack.
Dotson.
Oh, Dotson sack. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't Brooks.
But that's the one. That's the one that was. But it was negated by a penalty, I thought.
Mm,
Because I think we only had one sack. I think we only
no,
had Chubb sack.
it's still in the sheet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, it's still in the sheet. By the way, Tyrell Dodson led all defensive
Yeah, he does.
players
I
with
mean, he's
11.
in that position, right, where where he's kind of got visibility of all, of the plays, the run
Yeah.
plays, and being able to make one of the inside linebackers. They should be having all the tackles, right? I mean,
Yeah.
um,
You know who didn't show up on the stat sheet?
who's that?
Gay.
Because he
Still.
wasn't in the game. I saw him one time.
Yeah,
And he was on a blitz,
the Brooks boneheaded
but they
play, he
knew it
was
was
in.
coming. Because they're using Willie Gay in that way of where if he's in the game, he's probably blitzing, or he's doing the spy, right? So one of those two things. So it's very easy for Josh Allen's like pick up this blitz, or he's just spying on me. Like I don't know, and only like twice, right? They only throw him in there like twice. It's like I don't know.
Do you think he's underutilized?
Yeah, and that's what I guess that's what I'm trying to say, and I think everybody believes that, right? He had a great preseason. He's had a good career to this point with some experience. Like I'm not understanding why he's not even given a good look. He's only given like almost like he's a rookie or something. Like they get in there sometimes
Yeah.
and see what you could do instead of like I don't know. Obviously we're not coaches. We're not seeing everything that happens. We're not, it's not our freaking full-time job to sit here and watch the coach's tape and figure out where Willie Gay is going wrong and why he's not starting at all, or at least getting more snaps. But my final thoughts about this game, though, is like I said in the thumbnail, is like they did just enough to keep the coach around and kind of prolong our ability to just kind of move forward from this regime. And so it's kind of bittersweet, right? It's kind of like one of those things that you don't want it to happen. You want them to you want the team to do good, but you also know that you're just prolonging what we know is going to happen. You're just prolonging the teams, because you wanted to start to that transition, and maybe the team's not going to do well if they fire Mike McDaniel right away, but they can move forward. Because if we keep losing and they lost trust, they're not going to say it, but they're going to lose trust in the coaching staff, especially the head coach, especially who goes on media and is like, we lost because what did he say? What was this coach? He was like, well, if you want to win the game, you have to win the game. We lost the game because we lost the game, or something like that, something to that sort. Like, thanks, dude. They even played it like in the beginning of the game. Like they played one of his clips, like in the intro to the Buffalo game on Thursday Night Football. They had like a sound bite of one of his things where he's just talking in circles. And I just imagine being a player in the locker room and being like, God damn, bro. Like, and then if you're like Tyreek Hill and you call a play that's you in your head, you're like, this is not gonna work. Or you're calling the play like that freaking trick play that they did on third down, where they like passed it across the field. That could have gone so wrong, bro. You know how wrong that could have gone? Yeah. But think about it. If you're a player, you're like, really, we're gonna run this play?
Yeah, that looked like a play we ran in high school. Like, dude.
Yeah,
that
they were playing
out,
smear the on the field apparently. Anyway,
And that's just so wrong to me. Like a team that's getting. It does look like a team that's panicky, that's looking for a jump. If you're looking for a jump start, don't look for it in a trick play. Look for it in fundamentals.
Right.
Look for it in not making a boneheaded roughing the kicker penalty.
Staying
If
disciplined.
you're spending your time in practicing a trick play to beat the Bills. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned this because that's one of my. It's crazy to me. Like you're spending time on a trick play instead of like trying to find discipline in your team, trying to instill discipline. That's what's crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, we could go about the coaching for 2 more hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And what happened? I don't know if you saw this on it was Manti Te'o saying this in one of the NFL Network shows. I don't know if you saw this part.
Right. Yep.
Where this team looked like really united, like really, when we're coming out of preseason, right? They were doing the nights out, the dining, the bowling, all this stuff. They had their little road trip, to Detroit and Chicago, and everybody was talking about, oh yeah, dude, that was, we were out with the guys, and this is a really close knit team, and blah blah. And then Manti Te'o was pointing out, you can't even high five your teammates anymore, like after a good play. Like they showed like a few, and you got to go back and see them. Like they show a few plays where somebody makes a good play. Jack Jones had a freaking tackle for loss. He gets up, and there's nobody there. Dude. There's nobody there to
Yeah, he said I didn't hear that part specifically. I remember him saying this team looks like they don't know each other. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like they don't know each other. Like it's just a bunch of strangers playing on the
Yeah, a
same
bunch
team.
of strangers playing together. Yeah.
Right.
That's what he said.
So yeah, I see what you mean now with that celebration stuff. And I get maybe in their head they're like, well, we just suck. So that you get into that mentality when you're so low that you kind of like you don't want to celebrate because you suck. You know what I mean? So you kind of like you want to keep that down until
Right.
because I mean we were
still battling there though, right?
Yeah,
we were still in the game.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. So it was a difference between Tua sitting on the sidelines just yakking it up with his friends when we're getting freaking destroyed. You know what I mean? On the sideline. That type of happiness I don't want to see. But yeah, Jack Jones making a tackle on Cook in the backfield for a loss. Yeah. A cornerback that's not known for doing that kind of stuff. Pick his ass up, give him a good hug, bro. Say good fucking play, man, because we don't have that many of those. We don't. Encourage them, bro. Another pundit that said something is and I tagged you on it. It was freaking Gruden, John Gruden.
Yeah.
And he was breaking it down. And at the end of his breakdown, he started talking about what's wrong with the Dolphins. And he's like, communication, man, in the offensive line. You know what I mean? Like, hey, get this guy, you got to push that way because they was talking about where Connors just freaking took his route and didn't even touch that freaking defensive player. Nobody did. The running back was out there. Connors just run his route. That guy came right in to Tua. Right? Nobody communicated that. And instead of freaking Borum kicking out to that player, he double teamed with freaking Keon Smith's guy.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And, that's when I was John Gruden is absolutely fucking right, man. And I still think that he needs to be considered for the head coaching job. I know you don't agree, but I think so. Who else? There's not
Well,
gonna be an
I
experienced coach out there.
he's got what? He's got some legal stuff going on still, and I think it depends on how it comes out.
It's a year until almost a whole year before then, bro. I mean, it's not like he's gonna be a coach
But yeah,
this
but
season.
what I'm saying is like we hire him and then some stuff that we didn't know about or whatever comes out, or he loses. I don't even know where we're at in litigation
I
there, but
don't. I just keep hearing that he's close to like winning his case.
winning his case
That's
against.
what they're saying. I mean, that's the rumor, right? Who knows? Who knows what the truth is? But
Okay, well,
I mean, like I said, I don't
I
want
love
I
him as
don't
a
want
coach.
Joe Brady. You know what I mean? Even though he looks like a good freaking coordinator, everybody's saying he looks like he's gonna be a good head coach. But I don't want fucking new people anymore, bro. I don't. It's done. We tried that experiment for many years, and it's not fucking working out.
We're just not getting the right one.
Well, of course, yeah, but we obviously suck at that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we got other teams that are actually picking some young guys that are actually doing well.
Yeah, and the
So I
thing
don't know
is
if
that
we.
it seems to me, and we're running out of time here, but it seems to me that Miami is just not a place where people want to go. So we're getting the bottom of the barrel, bro.
I don't know, man.
Dude,
I don't think so.
I feel that way. I feel that way. And anybody disagrees with me or agrees with me, put it down in the comments. But I think that I get it. It's Miami. Some people like to fish and everything. I mean, there's a lot of people that love Miami, right? But they don't want to coach the Dolphins, bro. The same way that some players don't want to play in Miami and they leave. They get the taste of Miami nightlife, and then after that, they're like, you know what? I don't know. Fuck this team. Get me the hell out of here.
Then what's the problem then? Like, is it because
That's a whole nother
Ross?
episode, bro.
That's true. But just maybe a preview. Is just Ross not bringing someone, a combination of GM and coach
Yeah.
that could work together
Yeah.
and make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
All
I
right.
mean, it's really
Solved.
as simple as that. I don't think it's like, I don't think it's like bad location. Obviously not. It's fucking Miami. Bad stadium or facilities. Obviously not. They're voted some of the best, if not the best, every fucking year. What else? Maybe the fact that they got Tua and not a good roster, but I don't think so. Right? A lot of the coaches knowing, okay, I get there, you let me build my team. Okay, cool. But it does help for like Jim Harbaugh, for example, that you have a Herbert in LA. So bringing in somebody like Jim Harbaugh, great facilities now for the Chargers. You bring in John Harbaugh, hey dude, we got a pretty good roster. We got freaking Justin Herbert. He's like, let me try it. Let me give it a shot. So having some of that shit is that, and that's what I said the last episode, right? Whoever our next coach is temp. It's a temp. Because they're gonna have to bring in somebody that maybe they do bring in a new one. And maybe I'll retract. Maybe they bring in like Joe Brady, throw him in as head coach as they're rebuilding. And then once they got their roster, they're like, see you later, bro. Especially if he's not any good, right? I'm sure if he turns out to be great, then we just keep him. But if he's not, then see you later. Like I said, just like the Patriots. See you later, Mayo. And then bring in Brable. So Yeah. Anywho, the Jets are next on Monday Night Football. You know what is exciting for me?
The uniform?
The uniform. Yeah. Let's get that uniform on, man. I'm excited to see the rivalry uniform for sure. And let me say this, only real quick preview, because I think we should do a preview episode for the Jets, especially on the long week. So we'll have something to talk about next week before the game. But it's got to be an ass whooping. If they think they're turning it around, it has to be. It can't be a win, bro. It can't just be a win, or else, guess what? You're still in the hot seat, Mike. If you blow them out, you continue your freaking your story. You have to blow them out to continue your story, or else the decision is gonna be. I'm not saying he's getting fired that game, but the decision is gonna be made, right? If he barely beats them or loses, then guess what? Ross is already like, all right, cool, bet.
Man, if we lose, I mean, we already, man. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it, dude. Well, the thing is, this fucking team, man, it's so confusing, dude. And we're just in the same thing. We're gonna win, and it's just prolonging shit.
Yeah.
Like if we already know, then like rip the Band-Aid already, dude. I'm like done already. Like
and that's what I'm saying.
I
mean, we already know, but I see it from a perspective of Ross, right? Where he's like, you know, it's a family man with young children. He's not just gonna cut them off, especially in the middle of the season. If right now, he's still gonna give him that chance, especially after he gave him the contract. I mean, he already gave him the contract extension, so it has to be clear cut. Which, in my opinion, Daniel, to me, it would be clear cut if you go in there and you're freaking like struggling to beat the Jets. If you're in there struggling to beat the Jets or lose, then the decision's going to be made. If it hasn't already, the decision's going to be made there. Like, that's it. And then, I'm not saying, like I said, not saying that he's going to get it then. But at the end of the season, we move on from Mike McDaniel at that point. No matter what happens the rest of the season, in my opinion, because you know it's going downhill after that. I mean, you're 0-4. Man, I feel for the players. So anyway, we're not to get too long-winded about this, but Monday Night Football. Catch you guys off for a preview of that sometime later on this, probably late this week or into the weekend before Monday Night Football. We'll talk about it a little bit more, kind of see what where our some of our players are going to have good days or bad days. So we'll see. But anyway, for now, just make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Come join us again. Danny, Jules, the Ref Killer, next week for the Jets preview. I'll catch you guys then. Fins up.
Fins up.